At the northmost tip of Africa, where the Atlantic Ocean meets the Mediterranean Sea, sits one of the most overlooked cities on earth, Tangier Morocco, a city of ancient fortresses, mythological caves, living souks, and the coastlines that have shaped the course of history for over 2,000 years. 9 places, 1 city. This is Tangier. Number 9. We are kicking things off at the edge of Africa, literally. Cap Spartel sits on the northwesternmost tip of the entire continent, just 14 kilometers from the city, while the Atlantic Ocean slumps into the Mediterranean Sea right before your eyes. That lighthouse standing sentimental up there, built in 1864 under the Sultan Muhammad IV. And here is the wild part. 10 European powers plus the United States jointly funded it because this coastline was so dangerous for international ships, international diplomacy, and lighthouse form. Grab a coffee at one of the clifftop cafes here. The view alone is worth the drive. Just down the coastal road, mythological gets real. The Caves of Hercules, where legend says Hercules himself rested after splitting Europe from Africa to complete his 12 labors. Forget the myth for a second and look at this. The sea-facing opening of the cave is naturally shaped into a perfect silhouette of the African continent. Locals call it the map of Africa. Carved by Atlantic waves over centuries, then shaped further by ancient Phoenician stone cutters. When the tide rolls in and the light is the amber rock, is genuinely unforgettable. Number 7. Tangier Casbah. Step through the ancient arcades of Tangier Casbah and you step into a completely different world. This is fortified city within a city. Massive weather-worn stone ramparts enclosing a living, breathing maze of history. The alleys here are narrow and winding, framed by the whitewashed walls, electric blue doors, cascading flowers, and hand-painted tilework that seems to glow. At the highest point, you can look out over the Strait of Gibraltar. Europe actually visible on clear days. Get lost here. Seriously. The best discoveries in the Kasbah are the ones you didn't plan. Number 6. Right at the top of Kasbah side, the Kasbah Museum, and it lives inside a 17th century royal palace. The Dar al-Makhzen, once home to Moroccan sultans and governors. Now, one of the most beautiful museums in all of North Africa. Inside, Roman mosaics from the ancient city of Volubilis, Phoenicians, funerary artifacts, Moroccan ceramics, illuminated manuscripts, a chronological journey from prehistoric times to the 19th century, Berber, Roman, Islamic, European, all of woven together here. The courtyard alone is reason enough to visit pure architectural poetry. Number 5. Need to breathe? Perdicaris is Tangier's secret lung. This forested park was once the private estate of Parc Perdicaris, an American diplomat connected to one of the Morocco's most dramatic historical stories. Today is our greenscape above the city. Winding trails, towering trees, bird song, and then suddenly a viewpoints open up, and you are staring straight at the Strait of Gibraltar, Europe's shimmering on the other side. Whether you're a hiker, a photographer, or just someone who needs 5 minutes of quiet, this park delivers. Number 4. Here is a fact that will surprise you. The Tangier American Legation Museum was the first American public property outside the United States. Tangier was the very first country in the world to recognize American independence in 1777, and this building is a physical proof of that friendship. Inside, rooms of full art, historical documents, photographs, and stories connecting Morocco and America across centuries. Writers, artists, diplomats, all of them passed through here. The architecture itself is stunning, colorful details, carved archways, peaceful courtyards, a genuinely hidden gem that most tourists walk right past. Don't be that person. Number 3. Named after Morocco's greatest explorer, the 14th century traveler Ibn Battuta, who logged more miles than Marco Polo, Ibn Batouta Mall brings a contemporary age to your Tangier experience. International brands, local boutiques, restaurants, cafes, entertainment options. That is the social heartbeat of modern Tangier, a popular gathering spot for both locals and travelers. After days of history and cliffside hikes, sometimes you just want an air-conditioned rest and a good meal. This is your spot. Number 2. This is the real pulse of Tangier. The market, a sensory explosion of color, scent and sound. Vendors selling fresh produce, fragrant spices, handmade crafts, traditional clothing, all of it spilling out across winding stone path. The smell of mint tea and cumin, the sounds of deal making and laughter. Locals going about their daily lives completely unfazed by the fact that you look completely amazed. Come hungry. Come with your camera. Leave with more than you intend to buy. It's basically a requirement. And here it is. Number 1. Borj Dar el-Baroud, a historical fortress perched above Tangier's coastline. It has strong stone walls telling centuries of stories about the city's military past and strategic power. But what makes this spot number 1 isn't just the history, it is the view. From up here, you can see Tangier spread out below, the coastline curving away, and if you look carefully, the exact point where the Mediterranean Sea and the Atlantic Ocean meet. Two of the world's great bodies of water, side by side. History, scenery, and a sense of standing at the edge of the world, all in one place. This is Tangier's at its absolute base. Tangier Morocco. 9 experiences, 1 unforgettable city. Which one would you visit first? Drop it in the comments below. And if this video has you planning a trip, hit subscribe. We've got more Morocco content coming your way very soon.